All right. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. This is Week 12, the Thanksgiving's Day weekend special show. And it is on Wednesday before Thanksgiving because there's 3 games tomorrow. And I just wanted to get my picks done today so we can go enjoy our families and friends and eat a lot of turkey and drink and eat more turkey and watch football. Right, guys? Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, let's talk a little bit about last week, and then we'll get to this week. Now, there was a bustling in the NFL last week, and the Dallas Cowboys went into the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium, and I told everyone that Kansas City would win. Plus, I said that it was going to be a very low-scoring game. I knew they would do the under. I just knew it, and that was a key. You have to listen to my show because I said there was going to be a low-scoring game. I just knew it, and everyone was betting over because they thought maybe Dak will go off and then Mahomes, and both teams have great defenses. I just knew Kansas City would, step on the gas and win that game, and that they needed, and Dallas, on the other hand, saw their weaknesses. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is still out with a concussion protocol. Up until now, it's going to be a game's time decision tomorrow. He hasn't been. I don't think he's been cleared through concussion protocol yet. So I guess all you fantasy football players out there, you best listen to the NFL Network and before the game and just make sure he is playing or not. And if he isn't, grab another wideout right now and for in his place. That's a smart decision. Tomorrow's games, all six teams lost. Yes, all 6 teams lost last week. And I called the Bears. I called the Lions loss. I actually called all the teams other than the New Orleans Saints. I called them the win. And I was 12-3, by the way, last week. And I had my locks. So now on locks out of 11 games, I'm 10-1. So you best listen to me, that's for sure. And, it's going to be a tough one tomorrow because you have a few teams that are going in, like the Chicago Bears. Their defense is pretty big. They're really good. They're in the top 10 in defenses. They're 7th. And the Lions are 23rd in defense, 28th in offense, 30th in passing, almost last. And the passing attack of the Chicago Bears is in their last. And their offense of the Bears are 31st, and the offense of the Detroit Lions is 28th. And you have the 8th ranked rushing offense in the Bears and the 18th rushing offense in the Detroit Lions. Now, mind you, the Lions, their offense has been on Mr. Swift, the running back. But the running offense of the Bears is mainly Justin Fields and I guess Montgomery. And they're a running team, run first, pass type of team. They are. And, I just don't see this game being an exciting game. I guess for the fans' sake, like all my family are from my mother's family. Are from the majority of them came in over from Canada, and then they ended up in Detroit. So there are many diehard Detroit fans of my family. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, to all my family members. And they're just, diehard fans. And it's sad that the Detroit was, my heart wants to say, oh, Detroit's going to win, and I would love to see Detroit win. And, but you have Chicago, and Chicago's a better team, but, they're not that much better. Really, they aren't. And I can see, that, Chicago's passing attack is 32nd. So what would you do if you were a Detroit Lion? Wouldn't you stack the line and have them beat you in the air? Have Dalton beat you, By the way, Andy Dalton is the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, that's terrible. Andy Dalton, yes, he's starting quarterback. Guys, stop that. Yes, it's Andy Dalton. Yes. Oh, my God. Every time I say it, I won't say his name again. The Lions are really good on that Thanksgiving Day. They really play their hearts out. They've been playing their hearts out. Actually, they went and played their hearts out against the Steelers, and they tied them. And I don't see the Chicago Bears as actually a Steeler type of team. I just don't. Maybe their defense, but I see that the offense of the Steelers are a lot better than the Bears. That's just a fact. So, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. I want to pick the right team. What I think who's going to win this game. And, the last time they've met, the Chicago Bears, this was, ready? This year, they've met on October 2nd. And the Chicago Bears beat the Detroit Lions by 10 points. It was 24-14. So there's a lot of people who are calling this game. MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. MJD. Wow, was he a runner? He's picking the Chicago Bears. And a lot of there's only a couple people that were saying that possibly they're calling it. They calling it the Detroit Lions are going to win this game. And Jared Goff. Why don't we do it this way? If Jared Goff plays, they're going to upset the Bears. If he doesn't play, the Bears are going to win. How about that one? That's kind of that's the whole thing. Is Jared Goff has to be playing this game. And that's my prediction. Jared Goff plays this game, the Detroit Lions will win the first game of the season. If he doesn't play in this game, then the Chicago Bears will win, and it'll be a very, very ugly game. That's my prediction. That's fair. I think that's fair. Let's go to the next game. You have the Las Vegas Raiders going into the Dallas Cowboys. Now CeeDee Lamb's out. There's a couple people out on Dallas, important linemen. And, they're smarting from being humiliated in front of national TV, and the Raiders are just looking terrible. I predicted they would lose last week, and they did. And they're in disarray, that's for sure. And just a reminder, Lamar Jackson's status has just went from questionable to healthy. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens will be playing this Sunday. Just want to let all you fantasy football players out there, all you Baltimore Ravens fans out there, Mr. Lamar Jackson, they just announced, NFL News just announced that he will be playing this Sunday. He is considered healthy. Yes, isn't it great? Yeah, there we go. Yes, all you Baltimore Ravens fans out there. Anyway, let's look at the that game where it's going to be at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Of course, everyone knows that. I mean, this is the Detroit Lions have always hosted the Thanksgiving Day, day game, and the Dallas Cowboys as well. And just recently, they've been adding a night game. So, the 16th ranked offense is the Raiders. The second ranked offense is the Dallas Cowboys. But as you saw last week, Dallas can be stopped. And the defense of the Raiders is 13th. They need to step up if they're going to win this game. And the defense of the Dallas Cowboys are 16th. Now, they were, in the beginning of the year, they were like in their 20s and stuff. Now, they went all the way down. I think they were like 12th, and now they're at 16th. So, it's just, you can just see, they're fluctuating. It's a young defense. We have the passing attack of the, the Raiders are third. Yeah, Mr. Derek Carr. Remember I was giving you last week's podcast, and I gave the top 10 power rankings of quarterbacks, and one of them in the top 10 was Derek Carr. And, they're no fluke that this team is 5-5. They've lost the last few games, but they're a better team than that. Ever since Henry Ruggs went down, they don't have an answer to open the field up. But they'll figure it out. The rushing attack, the passing attack, for the Dallas Cowboys is 5. So Derek Carr has them on that one. But the rushing attack for the Cowboys is 7. And the rushing attack for the Las Vegas Raiders is 29th. That's something I think that maybe Vegas, if they want to win this game, they would really pound the run. That's what I would be doing if I was a Las Vegas Raider coach. I would pound the run and just keep pounding them. And for Dallas, on the other hand, I think they're that's going to be CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and Armani Cooper. I mean, the two best wideouts on their team are out. So they're going to have to rely on Pollard and Zeke and Schultz, and they're really going to have to push because it's going to be a stretch. I don't think that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to play fair in this game, and I'm going to give the upset to the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes. I think the Las Vegas Raiders will beat the Dallas Cowboys. That's my upset special. I just see it happening. I see the Chicago Bears most likely will beat the Detroit Lions. But like I said, if Jared Goff plays, I'm going to give it to the Lions. So the next game is the Buffalo Bills going into the Saints. The Saints just signed Jason Hill and to a 4-year deal for $10 million a year, and it's a really cool deal. If he plays like he's been playing, scat back, tight end, slash this and slash that, then it's $10 million a year for 4 years. But if he wins the job of the starting quarterback, he'll get $25 million a year. So his salary will go from 40 to 100. That's pretty big. That's $100 million for 4 years. This for a guy who is really not a quarterback, but I mean, yes, he is, I guess, in this weird world that we're having. Now, the Buffalo Bills, just. I called it last week. I'm sorry, Bills fan and all my friends from New York. I just called it. I just didn't see them beating Indianapolis. But right now, with the way the Saints are, I'm sorry. New Orleans Saints, you looked terrible last week, and you're going to look just as bad this week. And the Buffalo Bills will beat the New Orleans Saints on Thanksgiving Day. Give that one to Buffalo in New Orleans, by the way. That's at the 5:20 game. So the Bears-Lions game's at Fox at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time, and the Raiders game is at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time on CBS, and on NBC at 5:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You have the Buffalo Bills going against the New Orleans Saints. Mark that in your calendar, all those times and stuff. And if you're on the East Coast, of course, you're 3 hours ahead. Hello. Anyway, let's get to Sunday game. We have the Tampa Bay Bucks going into the Colts. Tampa Bay just coming on. They had two losses in a row. And Brady said that he didn't like that. And he came back against the Giants, by the way. Yes, I know it's the Giants. But he did really well. And the team really played in themselves. And they should do what they did, dink and dunk, move it down the field slowly, give the running game, share the running games with Fournette and Rojo, and use their tight ends. I think they have a great team, and we'll just wait until AB comes back. And Gronk came back when he was a little hurt, but wait until this game. And you have the Tampa Bay Bucks going into the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis is on a winning streak. But this is where their winning streak ends. And I'm giving this game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a close one. Very close one. I think the Colts, they're going to stop the Colts running game. That's going to be hard to stop, by the way. But the Tampa Bay Bucks are one of the teams that can stop it because they have this huge defensive line. And the Colts have this great offensive line. But you saw last week Nelson getting hurt. And I think they're all banged up. The Colts are. They've been playing their hearts out lately. But they're going to lose this game. The next game, we have the New York Jets against the Houston Texans, who surprised everyone. A massive upset last week against the Titans. They played out of their minds, and they're at home this weekend. It's the Jets 2-8 and the Texans 2-8. The Jets have been doing well as of late. The Texans played their hearts out last week. I don't know if that was I think it's most likely it's a fluke, pouring out rain. The gods were in their corner because this team, the Houston Texans offense, is 32nd in the league, and the Jets are 23rd. The defenses are just almost the same, 31st for the Jets and 27th for the Houston Texans. I mean, the only good thing, the passing attack on the Jets are 12th, and the passing for the Houston Texans is 31st. And both rushing attacks are 30th and last. Last is the Houston Texans. You know what? They're going into Houston, the Jets, and I think that the Texans are going to bounce like, a horse bounces after they win their maiden. The next race, they usually bounce, which means that they don't do so well. And I think the Houston Texans are going to bounce, and the Jets are going to win this game over Houston. And then we have the Eagles against the Giants. Giants look terrible. They fired their offensive coordinator, Garrett, and wow, it's too bad. But their offensive play calling was just terrible. And where's Barkley? Why aren't you have one of the number one running backs in the league? Why aren't you playing around him? Why aren't you giving him the ball more? I just don't understand that one, So, I mean, the Eagles look great. I think they'll be 6-6 after this game. The Eagles will beat the Giants at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And I tell you, Jalen Hurts. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in him now. I really am. The next game we have the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton. How about Cam last week? Wow, I was so impressed. I was so happy for him. And then this week, wait until this week. He's gonna win this game. The Cam Newton show is coming into Miami, a tough place to win. Miami could throw that on defense. Their defense is really good. They could throw it but they have McCaffrey, so just dunk it over to the line. I'm sure and Cam Newton's seen it all too, so I think Cam will do well. He's tall. He can see over the line. He can see what's going on. So I'm going to give this to Carolina. Carolina, after this game, will be 6-6. The next game, we have the Tennessee Titans 8-3 against the New England Patriots 7-4. New England Patriots, I guess, are now in first place in their division because of Buffalo's loss, and New England will win again this game. It's in New England. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to look at the stats. New England's going to win this game. This is my lock of the week. The New England Patriots to beat the Tennessee Titans is my lock of the week. That is my lock. Okay, people? And it's a big lock. It's a big lock. They're just playing great. And the Tennessee Titans they're 8-3, but not, I mean, they're going to be, they might make the playoffs. I don't know. They probably will, but I see them maybe at the end of the year 9-8. Trust me, they don't look good. The next game you have the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Cincinnati and playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to give this one to the Bengals. Pittsburgh looked terrible against. They didn't look that bad against the Chargers. They actually looked good. They scored against the Chargers. They did. And if it wasn't for Hebert, the thing was, who won that game is that the defense on the Pittsburgh Steelers, a lot of their players were hurt. Fitzpatrick's one of them, and that was the key to that game. And that muffed play near the end of the game with Hebert threw it to Williams, and he went 80 yards for a touchdown. That was intense. But Justin Hebert, man, he's ice. He's ice, man. He's ice. He's an ice. He's going to go far in this league. The way he plays, he ran, and he didn't run to get like Mahomes, like really grinding. He ran and he slid when he needed to slide. The kid is a great talent. So we're talking about the Steelers and the Bengals, and I don't see the Steelers winning this game at all. And I'm going to give this to the Bengals at home in Cincinnati. They'll be 7-4, and the Steelers will be 5-1. The next game we have the Falcons going into Jacksonville and playing the Jacksonville Jags. The Falcons look like the Falcons. Oh, I just don't get that team, man. They have so much talent, and you have the Jacksonville Jags on the other hand. They have a lot of young talent. So I just don't see the Jags winning this game. I'm going to give this to the Falcons. The Falcons, after this game, will be 5-6, and congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons in this game. The next game we have is the Los Angeles Chargers. And they're going into Mile High, and they're going to be playing the Broncos. They're tough defense. I mean, they're just coming off a bye. They're going to be all healed, and the Chargers just had a really hard-fought contest against the Pittsburgh Steelers and won. I could see the Chargers let down in this one because of the Pittsburgh game. It's going to be up in Mile High. They're playing against a really, really good Bronco team, very good Bronco team. Now, mind you, this is it right here. I mean, seriously, you have the 14th ranked offense in the Chargers against the 21st ranked offense in the Denver Broncos. The defense is 15th for the Chargers and 5th for the Broncos. That's pretty big. 5th, guys. But the passing, on the other hand, for the Chargers are 7th, and the passing for the Broncos are 20th. And now the rushing is 21st for the Chargers and 20th for the Denver Broncos. Now, mind you, Denver is they're a good team. They're a good team. They play hard at home. And the last time they played was last year, and the Los Angeles Chargers won 19-16. I just don't see the magic that the Broncos would consume to beat the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Chargers are a more of a fit when it comes to the playoffs. It's just that the defense is good as well, but nothing like the Broncos. But on the other hand, it's at Mile High. They're playing probably going to be cold, snowy, and then you have the Chargers just coming off their high win with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, could they bounce? Could the Chargers bounce on this one? Usually the sucky teams bounce. You know, the team like the Houston Texans. So this game is going to be a close game. I'm going to give this one to the Los Angeles Chargers over the Broncos in this game. Trust me, this is going to be a real tight game, people. Real tight game. Now, the next game's an interesting game. We have another Los Angeles team going all the way into the Packers. The Packers are hosting this game. And this is going to be an interesting game. It's a 125 game on Sunday on Fox. And now the Los Angeles Rams haven't looked good. And their offensive line is suspect. And I think they really need to work on their running game, the Rams. And the Packers, they're going to be hurting. They have a lot of people hurt. And especially that offensive line, Bakhtiari, he's hurt. Whenever a line like that gets hurt, got to watch it. Because like last year in the Super Bowl, when I told everyone Kansas City lost their left tackle, and that's like the quarterback of the offensive line. And I knew that Mahomes was going to be running around for his life, which it happened, and I predicted it. And this game's going to be the same way. The Green Bay Packers are going to be upset at home, and the Los Angeles Rams will beat the Green Bay Packers in this one, and Los Angeles will be 8-3 at the end of this game, and the Packers will be 8-4. We have the next game at 1:25 Pacific Standard Time, and the Vikings are going into the San Francisco 49ers. The Vikings, off their incredible win that I predicted against the Packers, and the Vikings had a great time, but they're going to meet a totally different team, a better defensive team, and their run ethics, their way they run block, the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Niners are a dangerous team right now. I think they're the most dangerous in the NFL, NFC, So I'm going to give this to the 49ers. Nikki's Niners. Nikki, happy Thanksgiving. Your 49ers are going to win this game, and it's going to be all for Nikki. Nikki's Niners. I'm giving this one to the San Francisco 49ers. The next game, we have Baker Mayfield is just all upset. He's 6-5 and he's hurt. And they're going to play the Sunday night game in Baltimore against Lamar Jackson. Like I said, in the middle of the show, I got a text telling me that Lamar Jackson is now been ruled healthy. So we have the Baltimore Ravens at home against the Browns. I think the Baltimore Ravens will win this game. It's going to be a bruising game, and the Baltimore Ravens will win this game and be 8-3 at the end of this game, and the Browns will be 6-6 and scratching their heads even further, scratching their heads. The last game of this week of Thanksgiving weekend special is the Seattle Seahawks against the Washington football team in Washington. Seattle's 3-7. The Washington football team is 4-6, and the Seattle Seahawks just look terrible. They got just killed by Arizona without DeAndre Hopkins and without Kyler Murray. Wow. And they still lost. And their just offensive line's terrible. I see the Washington football team winning this game. For Monday Night Football, the Washington football team will win. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm going to end this show quickly here, so let's just go over it quick. We have the Washington football team over Seattle on Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, we have the Ravens beating the Browns. We have on Sunday, we have the 49ers beating Minnesota. We have an upset of the Rams beating Green Bay. We have the Chargers beating the Broncos, the Falcons beating the Jags, the Bengals beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. My lock of the week is the New England Patriots over the Titans. The Carolina Panthers will go down in Miami and beat Tua with Cam Newton. Mr. Jalen Hurts will be all Superman against the New York Football Giants without an offensive coordinator. And then we have the Jets going into Houston and beating the Houston Texans. And we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into the Colts and beating the Colts. We have the Buffalo Bills beating the New Orleans Saints on Thanksgiving Eve. And we have the Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. We have an upset on that, and we have the Las Vegas Raiders beating the Cowboys. And last but not least, the first game on Thanksgiving is always the Detroit Lions hosting the Chicago Bears. Bears will win if Jared Goff is not playing, and if Jared Goff does play, the Detroit Lions will win. Okay, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Calvin Dean with the Calvin Dean Show, sponsored by the NFL Network. Don't forget to shop at nflshop.com, nflshop.com. Some great stuff, great for shopping, and if you want to use my I have a special code. It's NFL99. That's NFL99, and you'll get a special discount off the NFL Network with the NFLshop.com. Okay? I'll see you next week, everyone. Thank you so much.